Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to my channel. I'm Mary Sky Rita Lee. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're a comer or backer, welcome. This morning, we're going to talk about Mother's Day. And I want to wish all you mothers out there happy Mother's Day. This will be like Mother's Day. Yeah. But a lot of you have emailed me while I was sleeping and said, hey, a couple of you, my numbers don't go up that fast. You got people saying, hey, what's going on, right? Because people like to know and prepping and etc. And I got extended family all over. And I figured I would explain to you this morning. Yesterday's video wasn't an attack on one person, okay? It was basically an attack on the world, okay? And that is something I wanted to share with you. So, one person who means a lot to me, don't take it seriously if you think it's just a direct attack on you. It wasn't. Was it on the world? And the reason for it is, as I said in yesterday's video, or last night's video, and by the way, it's really early here. It's like almost 7 o'clock Pacific. And before you ask, I got up early because someone didn't get off their butt last night to move their fanny to their little cot. There's a cot in the back room there. They decided to sleep on the floor. And let me tell you, they sound like a buzzsaw. Yeah, So, here it goes, okay? So, let's just say, and I'm going to tell you the whole story today about what's going on, okay? So you guys can understand that this isn't about you. Or why I said the whole thing about, I was called self-centered last night. You see, I'm not self-centered. I've been an advocate for 20 plus years, okay? Helping everyone I can. I'm a Christian, alright? And right now, we all have to stand together. But there isn't a lot of people that want to stand together. Everyone is out for themselves. I was watching a video last night, right? And Chloe woke up and she heard everyone is out for themselves. And the narration is about the end of days, right? Everyone wants to be about themselves. It's like, take care of themselves, then this, then this, then this, then this. And then at the bottom, love your neighbor as yourself, right? Jesus taught, love your neighbor first. Don't take care of yourself. Jesus will take care of you. Okay, so one of the things is when you look at the Bible is literally a handbook of God. But you have to interpret it. So, say for example, you got a guy, someone, I don't know, that believes in God but doesn't understand God's word. There is no handbook out there that tells you exactly how to live a life. I mean, for example, Haley's claims it's a handbook, right? It's a small book, 6 million copies sold, re-updated. This doesn't have a handbook that says how to live like Jesus. The thing is, you got to emulate Jesus. Jesus he said, sell everything you have, give it to the poor. There's people out there that wouldn't sell their house and give it to the poor. Just saying, okay? Okay, there we go. You see, the camera's got to readjust itself in the morning, so please excuse me if it's a little grainy. I love all of you, okay? So, when someone says, oh, yeah, but you're not advocating for me, let's put it to you this way. How would you feel if, like I said last night, you heard the story, what's going on last week? Would you sit there and say, oh, it's all about me, I'm so worried, I need this and I need that? Or would you look at the overall picture? I got the manager of my complexes, who manages 4. Another manager that manages 3. I got managers that manage other complex in Eastern Washington, been friends for years. They all say the same thing. After September 30th, that they don't fund HUD HUD's gone. What's going to happen when all the people in HUD housing's gone and homeless, huh? That's something that they're talking about. But no one talks about that. People sit there and they're worried about themselves, then worrying about the millions of people being homeless. Oh, well, I got a house. It doesn't matter to me. That's what most people say. My family says it. How can you basically be this self-centered and so stupid to realize, well, it doesn't affect you? Yeah. And then there's the other housing programs. Oh, the states need to take it. Really? Some states could take years to build their housing program up, and the government gives grants. Oh, is that what you want now? You want grants to be given to each city? Oh, Seattle gets 10 grants, whereas this county gets 0 grants. I mean, the thing is do you think it's fair? I'd like you to weigh in on that later, people, in the comments. But the thing is, here's the problem. You see, this is the everyday issue we have right now about housing and grants. What about the other issues? Okay, so I'm going to tell you what's going on in my life, and then I want you to think. Does the world revolve around one person? Yes, Jesus and God. Does the world revolve around me? No. But I've had to deal with the world lately. Now, let me tell you what's going on, okay? So, last night, my one of my adopted brothers thinks, oh, Chloe's visiting, Rita's been drinking. Not likely. You see, one of the things, and I'm going to get to the whole story this morning. I want you guys to understand what's going on first before you turn around and say, oh, Rita's right. Yeah, I'm not drinking. All right. Actually, me and the good Lord had a nice discussion about staying away from people. All right. Now, I want to tell you why the good Lord is telling me this first off. All right. Now, it goes like this. There's too many self-centered, greedy people out there in the world. In Ephesians, like I said last night, talks about greedy people and getting into heaven. There's more greedy people out there. Look around. You claim you're Christian, but you're not. You're greedy. I sit there and I listen, okay? Here's what happens, right? I get up. I go out. I got a neighbor who's literally a nag, right? She sits there and she's cries, oh, yeah, the kid downstairs is being abused. Really? CPS came to me. Is the kid being abused? No. Do you hear? The old lady says, oh, Rita can't hear, so Rita wouldn't know. I told the lady, the APS, sorry, I'll get to APS in a minute. CPS lady, I got hearing. Hearing. Right? I can hear everything all the way over. I can hear a mouse fart with these hearing aids. Yeah. That's how it is. You turn them up, you're like, but if you turn them off, you can't hear anything. So the lady adjusts them, right? She says, can you hear? I'm going, huh? So she's like, download the app and play with it. That's what the hearing lady did. Sent me out. So I went home and took me like an hour or something to figure out how the app, once the app loaded. Every morning, I get these little things. Battery low. Battery low. I pull them out. Put in new ones, throw them back in. Usually, I used to find these to be annoying, once in a while. And yes, they're in there right now, okay? No, I don't sleep with them, alright? But, so, got a lady called CPS. Kids being abused? Highly unlikely. Kids having a temper tantrum, yes. The other day, I ran into the mom and said, hey, Mother's Day's around the corner. Would you like something? She's like, oh, candy bar. Would you care if I give your daughter a giant stuffed unicorn? She said, how big? I said, it's huge. I brought it to her. The little girl was happy. Thank you, Aunt Rita. Why? Because the little kid needs a toy. Mom can't afford much. See, that is from my heart. Okay? But you got people out there that only think for themselves. Old ladies. Schizophrenic, paranoid. Thinks the entire management company's trying to evict her. Maybe they are. I wouldn't mind seeing her kicked out. Why? Because apparently she called CPS on the poor lass. And then I have to help clean it up. Yeah. And then someone says, You're self-centered because I'm worried about. You're worried about something that affects you, yes. But what about that little kid, huh? Who almost lost her mom? If I didn't have to jump in and say, hey, kid's not being abused because the kid isn't being abused. The mom is a good mother. And the mother is half the time is gone because the mother is avoiding frickin' crusty, crampy pants upstairs. Who crampy pants comes down and my camera back and forth. I've sent it to the right people. I've had the sheriff. I've had this. They're getting ready to put a restraining order on the lady because the lady cannot understand that you don't call CPS because you can't sleep because you think the kid's got a big, strong pair of lungs and screams when mommy says no on a treat until you eat your vegetables. That is not abuse. That's like being a parent, okay? Secondly, all right, this is the stuff that I have to deal with, all right? Secondly, people say, oh, well, what about my thing? Well, what about the old lady upstairs, the other two old ladies that ended up losing their Meals on Wheels? I guess their Meals on Wheels is not important when they can't get food. Well, the one person, I don't think they need it, but as an advocate, I had to look into it because, well, that's them. And they said to me, what happens if your Medicaid gets axed? Oh, well, apparently I'm selfish on that too. I only have Medicare. But what if they turn around and say, oh, we're going to axe Medicare next. You're not going to have health care. And someone says, oh, well, that's okay. I got my Social Security disability check and I'm good. And all of a sudden, the person has a house, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, I'm not going to give names. I'm just being funny here for a minute. It's Mother's Day. All of a sudden, the insurance company comes and says, oh, because you don't have health insurance, we axed it and you have a house. We're taking your house away. Next you know, they're in a tent going, Reverend Rita was right. The crapper went down to crapper and now I'm in the crapper. You see, this is what I'm fighting for, people. People need to realize we're in a time where people sit there and they don't want to listen. That's the thing. They only think it all affects everyone except them. They're entitled. They're the special chosen one. There is no special chosen one. Every generation you hear someone say, it's the end of days. We're the special ones. Really? I'm almost 50 years old, okay? And let me tell you, I have not seen it yet. Now, if it comes around this time around, we're going to be lucky. And if it is happening, what happens if, God's going to be, when the time comes, God's going to be plucking out those that he thinks is worthy. Are you going to be making it? Think about it. I'm not worthy. I'm not. Everyone in this world is a sinner. And as Jesus said, there is not one good man, not one. But all these people say, oh, well, I could say a lot of people are good people. But that's from the outer appearance, okay? The inner appearance could be ravenous demons. Think about it. Now, you sit there and you say, well, the APS thing and the CPS thing, that doesn't affect me. Well, let me get to it. And then you have the food bank thing and the food stamp thing and the Medicaid thing. I'm helping someone trying to basically get and let people know that Medicaid gets axed for big, beautiful tax cut. You're not going to see your Medicaid back again. You're going to see new rules, regulations, and people that don't. Look, a friend of mine said to me the other day, okay, let me tell you, he wanted me to give an opinion about a lawyer. Okay, lawyers say, oh, well, if you have to jump through 4 years of 4 years, 10 years, 20 years to get approved for disability, and he keeps going back to the Supreme Court being kicked out, and then, they're not faking it. I'm going to say it takes a lot of determination, okay? And there's a lot of people out there that want to get on disability because they can't work and they're fighting it, right? Some people, they give up. The ones that give up, they're the fakers. Some of them give up because the people don't have the advocation, okay? Now, with me, let me just tell you, I was born with disabilities, okay? From birth. My mother was an alcoholic, okay? I had mild retardation. I was on a special program till 12 and then kicked off. And then from 12 to 18, and then from 18 onwards, I was on a special program when my dad died, okay? So technically, for me, My hearing, my cousins all know the whole stories about the hearing thing. Cousin Corey, my cousin Corey, who's a moderator on this channel, he literally had to hold me down when my mom was around to put in purple crap in my ears, and the ears are damaged, okay? I mean, literally, I'm losing my hearing, okay, slowly. And I think, people don't understand. Like one of my extended family members, he's got no hearing. He's depressed. You know how hard it is to be depressed and you don't want to leave your house because you can't freaking realize I got a dog, okay? Here's what happens, okay? I got to watch the road. And then I want to watch the dog. And I got to watch the road. And then I don't see it. I have to use what vision I have to see if the leash unclicks so I can grab Moppy so he doesn't get run over by a car. That is my fear. Now I can hear, oh, come here. Okay, see? Thing is these are things that people don't understand, okay? But some people say, oh, you're trying to con people and get disability from like 2 years old, right? I'm not saying I know a person who's disabled since 5, okay? A lot of people say, well, where's the proof? Where's this? Where's that? You got all these things, then you got things like different things. So when it comes to me, people say, oh, well, you got to drop everything to help me. Well, what about the old lady that lost her Meals on Wheels, huh? What about them, huh? Am I supposed to drop them because I'm trying to figure out why Meals on Wheels been kept? Oh, that's because, well, apparently it's a worthless program and we shouldn't be feeding the elderly. Oh, okay, well, if we're not going to be feeding the elderly, let's just cut Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, food stamps, and SSI. Let's gut it all. Let's just throw everyone under the bus because you think you're important because of what you need, and yet the elderly that I'm helping basically lose their meals. That's really fair, you see? So I'm pissed off about that. I'm pissed off, not because of other issues, but people don't realize that I'm pissed off about it. But that's not all. What if I told you that as an advocate, the food bank basically cuts out, oh, that's not my problem. I got food. I got 20 million food stamps. I'm just going to go to the store and buy what I want. Woo! Meanwhile, what about the food bank? People that don't get food stamps, they go to the food bank because they're struggling. They find out, oh, we're sorry, we have to cut out 2/3 of our program because there's no money. Uncle Sam's not paying for it. Oh, well, that's good because we shouldn't be paying these freeloaders, really. What if the government turns around one morning and says to everyone on SSI, SSDI, SSR, SSS, survivors, retirement, that you guys are worthless eaters, and we're going to turn you off. I mean, look, Sister Pee-wee basically said it herself recently that apparently if the government had their ways, we'd be cut off because we're worthless eaters. Wow, think about that for a minute. I can sit there and say, oh, look, every one of you were worthless eaters on the dole, including me. Wow, praise the Lord, we're all worthless eaters. You see where I'm going with this morning? So, while we're sitting here, and people say to me, well, how are you doing besides fighting for these peoples to eat? Food bank? I mean, literally, I got heart disease, okay? And yet, someone says, oh, are you trying to kill yourself on the sausages? No. I just decided I wanted to be on a sausage kick to try new flavors. Chipotle cheddar, different hot links, you name it. Yeah. Chloe had a hot link last night. She was literally sitting here shoveling them in until she realized, yeah. Now, this story is also about Chloe and myself and what you don't know behind the scenes, because I don't tell you. You see, I'm sitting here, right? I'm sitting here. And I got an adopted brother. He says, oh, yeah, I had this happen to me and that happened to me and the doctor did this and the doctor did that. I'm sitting there on the phone going, why are we basically having problems with being Medicaid cut, and people are proud to have their Medicaid cut and their food stamps cut and their Medicare cut and their Social Security cut. They're like, oh yeah, take away my benefits. Take away everyone's benefits. Really. So then you have more people, then you have the tariffs, people say, oh, well, we need the tariffs so we can bring the factory. The factories ain't coming back. If you think the factories are coming back, I got a bridge to sell you to nowhere. And it's really low dirt cheap, okay? The thing is I'm not here to belittle the commander-in-chief. That's not my job, okay? My job, I'm not going to belittle Congress either. You guys are like, oh, we need to arrest every Democrat because they're not letting us get away with what we need. Maybe the Democrats have something against the people that are literally trying to hold the country together. Maybe if you look at it from a Democratic's point of view, the Democrats saying, hey, if you take away these programs, who's going to eat, huh? What if you wake up one morning and the Republicans hypothetically cut your Social Security? You can sit there and be like, oh, they better pay me everything I paid into it. What if they turn around and give you a big F you, huh? F you, right? See, the point is you guys are only thinking about one person, yourself. You're not giving it to God, okay? So when you give it to God, you're saying, God, help me out. Growing up, I was taught, there's one Jesus and one God. You give it to God and Jesus, you move on. They handle things for you. But if you don't, then you're going to take that problem back. Oh, hold on a sec. There we go. You're going to take that problem back, and you're not going to get anywhere in life, you see? Think of last night, okay? Someone left me some eggs on a door. At my little I got a little chair outside my door, right? Left it there. It said, to a sweet lady, anonymous, kind lady or kind person. Why? Because a little birdie said you needed eggs. I didn't say anything about eggs. I only use eggs for my salads, which, by the way, the food bank salad's not bad. Of course, I'm wondering if the ranch dressing's a problem. You see? But anyways, I've been utilizing what the food bank gives me. Salads, I eat all the salad up first. I don't let it go to waste, right? So, then you guys sit there and you say to me, what's going on in the story? Okay, here it goes. All right, because, you got the old ladies that have no food, and you got someone who's trying to get on disability, and you got another person trying to get on disability, and then they say, oh, well, they're faker because, these people got on quicker. People that get on quicker, that doesn't take the longest. The fakers, here's how the fakers work in our state, okay? The fakers turn around and they literally sit there and they can go 20 years, and the state says no. Whereas some people say, oh, here's all my medical records from childhood all the way up to whatever. I mean, I just requested a copy of my childhood records that is on microfiche. It's still there at the hospital. I submitted copies again to the right people, and they're like, wow. And, wow, right? So it depends on, what's going on, But Children's Hospital usually keeps those records pretty good, It depends on the hospital. See how it does, right? So then you got these people sitting there. Hold on a second. Just want to make sure this. Then you got the people that they only think about themselves. And yet, I'm going to tell you a story, okay? I'm going to tell you a few stories that intertwine to what's going on in my life. And then, I may do another video later. But, I want you guys to realize what I'm going through, okay? Because this ain't about me, alright? This is about the world, okay? The world, okay? Now, I love all of you. I'm not going to hold anything against you guys, okay? It's not your fault that you get up in the morning and you're worried that you may not have enough money to live on for the rest of your fucking life, okay? Or whatnot. Excuse me, I don't mean to swear. I mean, we're not talking about one person. We're talking about the entire world, okay? Because, think about it. There's people out there right now worried about housing. HUD got cut, okay? And after September 30th, there could be millions homeless. What happens if the millions are homeless, huh? HUD, they're trying to gut the housing. They're trying to gut subsidized. And people say, oh, well, we don't need it. Really, what if someone turned around and said, okay, we're going to cut $22 billion off the cell phone program? Are you going to be happy when they turn around and turn off your cell phone? You're like, oh, yeah, I got to pay $20 a month for phone service. I already paid $85 a month for 2 phones. And now I'm probably going to be paying another $15 for a 3rd phone because Chloe doesn't know how to backdoor certain things to get $15. She goes and they have a card that says $50 for all phones, a track phone. She doesn't want to pay $50, so there's a way online to get it for $15 per month through track phone. Unlimited minutes text if you have a flip phone. Okay, it's not really a backdoor, but for someone who's disabled like Chloe, well, that's a different story. Now, let's just talk about the next thing in life, okay? Now, there's people out there that are worried about their housing. There's the manager who comes to me all the time and says, here's the programs, this is what's going to be cut. Am I supposed to drop everything and be like, oh, yeah, mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I got housing basically being gutted all over. What about my housing, huh? It doesn't matter. Oh, well, I gotta live and I gotta do this. These are people all over in my buildings. You got the freaking drunk. Okay, let's talk about the drunk for a minute, okay? I'm not trying to attack one person. I'm not trying to attack, whatever. I'm talking about people in general, okay? You got a guy, okay? He turns around and he thinks everything revolves around him. If it doesn't revolve around him, F you, you're a piece of crap, okay? I'm sorry to say that's not life. That's one guy thinking he's been shafted so much that he's an entitled son of a craphead who pissed away his inheritance because he freaking decided power of attorney was good enough for him and he was going to abuse his power of attorney by spending money on stuff he didn't need. It was a cross-dressing alcoholic, and his family finally said, give us the ledgers, and he couldn't prove where he spent money, so the judge said, okay, you took care of your mom for 20 years, but you stole from her. We're not giving you jack diddly poop. Here's the legal fees. You can't pay it. Well, you can't appeal. So he ended up losing $4 million. Now he's staggering around with liver cirrhosis and cancer. And people are like, hurry up and die because there's a 3-bedroom that you're living in. And he doesn't qualify for a 3-bedroom. You see where we're going with this? Then you got another person who thinks that they're entitled. And by the way, moderator Sister Zoe knows who I'm talking about. Yes, okay. Then you got the guy upstairs who's a sweetheart. Then you have the girl next door who's a sweetheart. Then you got the lady upstairs who's a crazy crackpot who thinks everyone's out to get her and the little kid's being abused and calls APS on me. We'll get to that in a minute, Adult Protection Services. Then you got the lady next door who is never around, who the insane lady calls and says that the lady's putting stuff in the walls to spy on her, and the manager's putting things under her furniture, like listening devices that she's hearing. Schizophrenia, I think. Don't quote me. I'm not a doctor. I got into an argument once with Sister Zoe about diagnoses. I can clearly claim that Chloe is borderline, but that's because I have all the documentations everywhere. I have like 20 copies of everything for Chloe because I get her records and yada yada yada. But that's because the reason that she's disabled is because she can't medicate herself. But let's just talk about disability for a minute, okay? And what's going on in the world. Okay, this ain't about Chloe. This ain't about me. This isn't about the neighbors or the people with food bank or something. This is about the whole overall of programs being deconstructed. Eventually, it may be a program that you rely on, that you get gutted. Then what, huh? What if, someone says, oh, we're getting rid of your Medicaid. Oh, that's okay. I'm on disability now. I got SSDI. And then they cut Medicare. Then what? What happens if you wake up one morning and they say, oh, by the way, your Medicare, you have a Medicare program only pays 2%, you got to pay 98%. Are you going to be happy that they turn around and say, oh, under this program, we can take your house? I mean, think about it. This is where I come in and say this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong to take the elderly. But guess what? There's greedy people out there that don't care about you. They don't. They don't care if you are, literally they don't care. And you got people sitting there saying, oh, well, this and that, this and that. Really? Really? I mean, literally, there's people out there, okay? And yet, I was reading last night about the Bible and manipulation. Okay, there's a lot of people in the world that manipulate others for their own purpose. Trust me, I've seen it at times. They sit there and they twist things to get what they want, right? Manipulation. Fortunately, those are the people that you got to look out for because those are ones that can be really problematic. But we're not here about manipulation. Now, you're wondering, okay, the CPS thing was okay. The lady's insane. What about the APS thing? APS is more complicated, but I will explain it to my best knowledge for you all to understand why I went and did what I did yesterday for what I did, and that means what is affecting me. Okay, not only as I got the manager panicked about her job and HUD and the USDA, and by the way, USDA does provide housing. Then I have this room smells like Doritos. I want Doritos. All right. Then you got Meals on Wheels, food stamps, and the food bank all being cut. And soon they're talking about cutting the cell phones and the internet program and everything else. My family's like, oh, well, good for them. We don't need to pay for Hobo Joes and Hobo Janes and Hobo Horkins and everyone else's phone service and food stamps and housing. They think that, everyone, yeah, okay, so it affects, in your opinion, everyone is literally a faker and except for you. And then all of a sudden you get shit on and you're like, oh, they took away my benefits. I mean, look. Now let me tell you what's going on my side of things, okay, so you guys can understand to the fullest, okay? APS, all right? I have to deal with them. Okay, you sit there and say, oh, well, I'm so panicked, I need this and I need that, and there's all these people flooding me. My neighbors, my adopted brother, I'm not going to give his name. He should realize that if I'm taking a day off away from the computer, it means I need it, okay? Am I supposed to drop everything and just give everyone everything, my attention 24/7? I mean, my adopted brother knows I got to deal with Chloe, okay? Now, this APS thing has to do with Chloe. Again, Chloe and myself, okay? But it's mostly me, all right? So let me explain what's going on, okay? Chloe turns around, and as everyone knows, including my adopted brother and sister Zoe and sister Pee-wee and brother Mark and the rest of the gang, cousin Dinky and cousin Corey and Chloe has taken advantage of me, stolen from me. She told her therapist in front of me when I was there once that she's a liar, cheater, and a thief. Liar, cheater, and a thief. They said, so, can you change? Chloe says, I don't think so. Now, the other day, what happened? Old lady asked me about if I can give her my debit card to go to the store. The one that's schizophrenic, I think. I'm not going to, Sister Zoe's met her twice, okay? A lot of people say, oh, what happened to Sister? We won't go there yet because, well, unless Zoe sees my videos, goes backwards, follows the breadcrumbs, she knows exactly what happened. Now, rumor has it, Zoe's somewhere here on the rock. She can find me if she wishes, all right? And I wish her well. I do. But Sister Zoe also knows I'm a hermit. But I can't be a hermit when I got to deal with all this stuff. So let me tell you the story. So APS comes in multiple times last week, right? I get a call. Manager says, heads up, APS is coming. Chloe says, oh, you're throwing me under the bus. Spoke to APS. They said, well, come out. They come out. What were they investigating? Chloe keeps taking my debit card. Old lady upstairs wants it so she can go buy groceries on my account because Sister Zoe was there as a witness when I got kicked out of the grocery stores because apparently Moppy, who's a service dog, pooped in there, supposedly. Now there's new management there, but I never went back because I refused to go through a store, kicked me out. But I will send Chloe in there when I need a few things. You see where I'm going with it? Chloe comes in handy for a few things, but Chloe forgets to give my debit card back. So I'm stuck, right? So then, here's what happens. Bill collectors call me. I wait. Bill collectors get pissed. They contact APS. Oh, their card's being held hostage. APS investigates and says, oh, where's your card? Then I go look for it, and then I find a call. Chloe says, oh, yeah, it's with me. I'll come back in a week to get it to you. A week later, she gets it back to me. Then I get to do my shopping, pay the bills that day. She goes out to the store, getting maybe a roast or something. Next thing you know, it's gone for another week. APS is getting tired because of it. And then the neighbor thinks, Rita can't buy booze and have cocktails with me. Why? Because she's an alcoholic too. Lady who hears things in the walls is an alcoholic. Wow, go figure, right? My adopted brother who's probably sitting there watching goes, really? That's amazing. Yeah. So she wants control. She doesn't get it. She calls APS. She can't sleep here, apparently, for whatever reason. She calls CPS, claiming the kid's being abused. I get APS. APS comes in, looks at the ledgers I have, the financial ledgers of my financial ledgers, Chloe's financial ledgers. Just hold on a sec here. The financial ledgers, Chloe's financial ledgers, this one. So these ones here I put in as joint ledgers. Chloe's financial ledger, all in green. The joint ledgers, APS lady says, how come you don't have your own ledger? Because I haven't bought one yet, because I have to, right? Yes. So, what happens? Yeah, think about it. The financial ledgers, right? Lady looks at it. What is Chloe spending her money on? Let's see, $20 for taco. $20 for taco. Sorry about that. You saw me take my hearing aid out. $20 for a taco. $20 for a burrito. $40 for Subway. Now, that's kind of a lot of money for food, right? Well, she's overweight. $2 for a hot dog. $4 for a hot dog. $10 for a hot dog. You see where I'm going with this? So, all this food expenses. And yet, they're wondering, why? Well, it's survival mode, right? So what happens? You got someone like Chloe turning around and talking about this girl she met in Seattle who she wants to use and abuse for a roof over her head. Again, it's all about her survival mode. And because she's homeless for 2 years and she cannot compute that in her brain, she brought it upon herself when she was racist and supremacist and told the manager off, she got kicked out. Manager basically defending me by protecting me financially. But the manager basically also called APS because of certain issues. So you got the old lady, you got the APS, you got other agencies that you don't know about. Thank God I got a police scanner, right? I know everything. So, Family Resource Center's worried. You got everyone. I'm surprised. My adopted brother in another state I'm helping hasn't called, okay, because of that. But I got them asking me questions like, for example, what was the deal for Chloe to come back here? Cleaning. But with the health issues down the toilet, my knees need to be rebuilt. By the way, that's something I never shared with you guys. Doctor tells me because I'm having severe pain going up and down the stairs, I'm going to have my knees rebuilt. Praise the Lord. I get to tell you that. Wow. And you guys are like, oh, yeah, I'm worried about my benefits and I need more money, and other people are worried about eating. And yet I'm here telling you that I have to have my knees rebuilt. Yeah, isn't that nice? Yeah, I'm sitting here in pain, so I don't leave my house right now, going up and down those stairs. Even Sister Zoe knew that one. Down the stairs, up the stairs. Starting to have severe pain. Yeah. So, technically, and I understand the depression thing with no hearing, because frankly, when you can't hear the thing and you've had to protect Moppy a few times from getting run over, yeah, that's where you take very careful, now I can hear. So, it depends on, certain issues. There's people out there that try too hard to try to get what they want, but at the same time, they demand, and they demand, and they demand. And I'm not talking about someone like my adopted brother. I'm talking about the freaking food bank telling me to get a hold of my local people because I have the connections to contact them. What did they say? Not my problem. We can't do anything. We're the minority. Oh, so you're the minority party now, so you don't care if they gut everything. Okay, let's just gut Social Security disability. I don't mind gutting SSI and SSDI and retirement survivors too. Let's just gut it all. Let's just be fair. Let's gut it all. Let everyone be homeless and then see how they like living in tents. Yeah, Why do I say that? Because, in my opinion, these people, they're all about themselves right now. Yeah, even the politicians. That's why I'm doing this video this morning to explain that I'm for everyone. But I can't basically drop everything and work on one thing. I gotta basically spread my thing out through the day. And so when I see things like, what do you think? Well, what are you asking me? You're asking me about the opinion on a letter I saw. Looks good. Or are you asking me about what your lawyer said? To me, sometimes you need to not bother people where they can turn around and analyze it on their own time, while you got old ladies asking how come they can't get their Meals on Wheels because they're going hungry. And then you hear people say, oh, let the community feed them. Really? Or let the church help them. The alcoholic drunk's been turned away from the church now because, they found out he buys too much grog. Oh, really? That's interesting. And then people sit there and, one reason why Chloe got thrown out of the mental health profession program was she was literally going in there drunk. All right? Now, that's Chloe's problem, okay? Now, the APS thing was not just about, manager made a deal. How can we get Chloe back here to a point? By the way, Pee Wee's probably sitting there going, oh my God, our sister's whatever. Or Cousin Dinky, Sister Pee Wee, Cousin Dinky, Sister Zoe. Didn't work. Chloe didn't care. She came out here claiming she was going to clean. She didn't lift a finger. I did all the cleaning. Manager's proud of it. Walls, pretty much. Steam cleaning needs to be done. That's it. But here's where it gets complicated, okay? While you sit there and say, oh, so self-centered, I could have been put into a group home because of this. And yet you're sitting there calling me self-centered when I'm fighting for the overlady obese woman who claims if she doesn't eat, she's going to die. A little plumper who's like this big, can barely walk around. Thinking the world owes her because she's a Jehovah's Witness. Wrong answer. But I'm open-minded. Then you got the other lady lost her Meals on Wheels too. Food stamps. Literally, they're going down and cracking down on people. She's being investigated for false allegations. Another lady's losing her benefits because of different things. They're literally cutting corners for the elderly. The elderly are getting crowned. This one here just lost a lot of other programs. She came to me the other day, a Jewish woman. I'm not against anyone. Religious, whether you're Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Islam, same thing as Muslim, Mormon, you name it, okay? So, bottom line is, why am I doing this video? To explain what's going on with the whole APS thing. You see, they asked, well, if Chloe couldn't do the cleaning, what's the other deal? Second deal was she had to stockpile stuff because after 90 days, she's got to go somewhere, right? She had to have toilet paper for wiping her own butt. It's not my job to provide it. Paper towels to wipe down her messes. Cleaning supplies. Big one. My adopted brother should be like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, no. But then again, apparently my adopted brother makes jokes about how he hasn't cleaned his house in like 20 years. Yeah, probably mice live there and he doesn't know it. See, I get to poke him this morning for fun. But truthfully, paper towels, it's needed, right? Cleaning supplies, window cleaner, floor cleaner, etc. Right? Bunny food per bunny, right? What else? Well, shampoo, conditioner, body wash. Gotta buy it somehow, right? Oh, well, I could do it if I need to, right? Okay. APS lady was asking about this big kicker. Food. What is closing? Or just live off the canned beans I have. I'll doctor it up with some chili pepper. Or I'll dry the beans for 24 hours, throw it in a crock pot. And slow cook them. Really? So you're going to slow cook beans. Well, it might help me with losing weight. Might make you gassy too. No. Anyways. Then, you guys are sitting here, okay, makes sense, right? APS lady says, it's the biggest thing that happened, right? Alright, I'll tell you guys. Because I want you guys to understand, right? So, the manager wants me to get steam cleaning done, right? I could have bought a steam cleaner a while ago. Brother Higgins and I was working on that a while ago, but the manager said there's no storage room. Actually, there is. There's so much storage now, I could basically buy one outright, but I haven't asked Brother Higgins for help on that because, well, Brother Higgins is mad at me for something that he doesn't understand. I had to drop things to do something else as a hobby yesterday because of certain things. But thing is I got HUD basically. I called the HUD office. They're fired. I called the civil rights departments. They're canned. Apparently, civil rights doesn't mean jack crap in this country as long as it benefits you and only you. And I'm not talking about one person. I'm talking about the whole world. You know, each one thinks, oh, well, it doesn't affect me. It means nothing to me because as long as it helps me, I don't care about you, right? That's the way the world's coming. So, I got APS, right? So they asked, well, what's holding back the steam cleaning? Because someone else is taking care of it, right? Because, well, I'm an advocate and I help so many things, give my time. Places offering free steam cleaning for me, right? Here's the kicker. Can't steam clean without vacuum. Vacuum caught on fire. Chloe disassembled, reassembled it, plugged it in, set on fire. We put on concrete to let it cool. What happened? You're going to love this one. Chloe orders a vacuum, comes in. Turns out the vacuum is used and broken. Amazon had to use the broken one in a box. So we had to ship it back. Oh, Chloe says, okay, I'm going to try again. Orders same vacuum. That vacuum never came in. Apparently some jackboot decided to steal it, right? So Amazon comes around and says to Chloe the other day, vacuum's delivered. You're holding vacuum back. Please send vacuum back or we're taking refund back. Turns out they're investigating why supposedly there was a vacuum delivered here, which never was. And I have the camera proof. Law enforcement's already looking into it. Amazon's going, oh, so you never got it. No. First it was delayed 5 days. Chloe asked, where's my vacuum? I got a vacuum, get steam cleaning. And they said, okay. Said they get a refund. Then they demand the vacuum back. When you can't deliver a vacuum, they never got back. By the way, I have cameras at my door and windows. That tells you right there all you need to know. Now you're sitting there going, okay, what else? Rita, what else? So, while I'm worried about this to pass my inspections, which is almost done, just the floors need to be done, I had to buy a vacuum out of my own dime because Chloe won't part with it. APS lady said, oh. So, not only does Chloe think that she's entitled to rib roast, I don't have a rib roast for Mother's Day today, do I? That's why I'm doing a video this morning. Right? Because apparently Chloe thinks she's entitled. Oh, I'll come out and have rib roast with Rita. Didn't happen. APS lady's going, so she thinks she's entitled. See, this is where I'm sitting here telling you guys the story that everything doesn't revolve around you people, all right? Or people think you're all about. I sit here and I don't tell people how I'm doing because, frankly, they wouldn't understand. Okay, they wouldn't. They sit there and everything's like, oh yeah, I'm so worried about it. Yes, good for you, good for you. You're doing great. You're doing a job that should be done by someone else. Someone should be pulling this up. I mean, frankly. If I had my opinion, lawyers are useless. They are. Yeah, I mean, unless you need them for something, they're useless. They don't want to give their time. I give my time to everyone, okay? They're useless. Yeah. And yet, I'm dealing with this APS problem. Not only does the APS lady say, oh, debit card, right? She's looking at the ledger going, for Chloe, booze, 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 food, 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 booze, food, booze, food. Chowder, 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 booze, chowder. And yet, I'm sitting there going, they look at my ledger and they go, rent, 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 electric. You live on ramen. Well, lately I've been living on sausages, but it's a step up, right? Then, when the APS lady finds out that Chloe couldn't get 4 of everything, by the way, Ziploc bags was part of the list of stuff that was needed because you can't keep using my Ziploc bags, right? Or dish soap. You got to do your own dishes, right? Said you're using my toilet paper, my dish soap, my bar soap, my body wash, my shampoo and conditioner. What are you actually buying, right? The APS lady said, "Oh, you're buying food. You're buying food out." But then the APS lady says, right? And this is something that's big. You would think my adopted family members, cousin Dinky understands this, cousin Corey understands this. I think Brother Higgins understands. APS lady says, so Chloe goes to this Costco and buys one of everything, but not buying it for herself. Using my card, she buys one of everything for me. And then says, "Oh, I'm saving money." APS lady says, so the manager had a deal, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen to Social Security. We don't. And Chloe could have done this, right? Guess what? People say, "Oh, well, it's not going to." You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. The end of the world can happen. We have Armageddon, nuclear war, we could all be dead. But apparently everything revolves around other people. They revolves around what they can get instead of thinking about what happens for others. I mean, look at it. I'm sitting here and I don't tell you my problems. My knees are going. My pinched nerve, I still haven't seen a specialist for. Why? Oh, apparently I have some other health issues I won't tell you. But pinched nerve? Oh, can't get in till September. Oh, well, yeah, that's not my problem. My problem is I can't live on $4.29 a month. No one can live on $4.29, but what about the people around you? What if your mom died tomorrow, your dad, or your grandpa, or your grandma? I'm just throwing out there, whoever it is. Okay, I'm just saying overall picture here. Why? Because then you're sitting there, you got another problem. Look at, someone said to me the other day, I should drop the program I'm helping with someone, a family member of mine out here on the island, whose dad died. Am I supposed to drop them and basically give up everything just to help someone else because this lady's dad died? No, I gotta console her as an ordained minister. I gotta say everything's gonna be okay. But no, you turn around and be like, oh, and then the whole APS thing, right? So APS says the big kicker here, the key coup de grace, Friday. What's Chloe gonna do for food if she comes here for a couple weeks? I put together a food order. What did Chloe say? I can't do that. I can't do that. Right? So Chloe's looking to donate plasma. Why don't they do it? High blood pressure. Too stressful. Worried about her next meal. Chloe's worried about her next meal. Chloe admitted last night. She said there's too many self-centered people in this world. Let's only think about themselves. What am I doing? I said, well, what about me, Chloe? What do you think I'm doing? She says, you're dealing with the old lady upstairs with the CPS and APS thing. You're dealing with the two people with the Meals on Wheels problem. You're dealing with the drunk who thinks everything revolves around him. You're dealing with another person who thinks everything revolves around him. You're dealing with the food bank that's contacting you, trying to get in touch so they can get more money and donations because, well, the food bank's been cut. And everyone around you is contacting from the Family Resource Center asking about if the phone service has been cut. And then, yeah, I mean, I went into the Family Resource Center because I don't have my debit card. So apparently they have a program anywhere where if you need certain things, they can provide it, like shampoo and conditioner. Yeah, shampoo, conditioner, body wash. They give me extra body wash from me. Go home, take a shower. You've been being so frugal with your water bill and your electric bill that you need to go home and shower. So I went home, took a shower. Yeah, just shea butter and oatmeal shampoo or body wash. So it was really nice, by the way. Yeah, what happens? It was nice, right? But the APS lady asked, what's Chloe going to do for food? I don't know. Plain and simple. I don't know. Now, I just don't know, people. That's the thing. I mean, when you sit there and everything revolves around everyone else, and I can't just sit there and I have to tell you exactly on video what the hell's going on, there's a problem. Yeah. And that is because these people don't understand what's going on in the world. By the way, I haven't even had my first cup of coffee, and I'm still talking to you guys. So yesterday I took a day off. And apparently taking a day off is a no-no. And apparently in my free time, I'm supposed to drop everything. And, yeah. And the reason I had this day off was because of the stress of the day before with the APS, Adult Protection Services, who thinks I'm too vulnerable because of my debit card. By the way, did I get my debit card back? Nope. Magically? I should get it today. Yeah. And yet, I can finally order a vacuum cleaner. Yeah. Why? Because apparently, certain somebody thinks spending $12 at 7-Eleven for hot dogs is more important than putting an extra $30 and buying a Walmart vacuum. But apparently Walmart is so bad, in their opinion, because they donate to the Republican Party more than the Democrats, that they're making a statement, oh, Target cut out DEI, we're not shopping there either. So, it's either Amazon, Target, or Walmart for a vacuum cleaner. And think about it. I already got ripped a new one for the coolers, okay? Now, you see, coolers are filled with sausages, not once, but twice, yeah. And yet, they say, oh, you're done buying sausages, we need more money for... We need more money for... See, I'm trying something new, I told the APS lady. I'm trying something new with my life, okay? Every Monday I go in and I reevaluate the supplies that I need and I order accordingly. Yeah, she thought it was brilliant. Chloe doesn't even think about it. Chloe's only think, oh, the shelter had cheese again on the food, so I went and got hot dogs. Well, I ate 2 packs of ramen that costed 20 cents each. Because the other packages, and they suck, by the way. I've tried using beef bouillon, chicken bouillon, never mind what bouillon. I've tried it all, okay? And that set of ramen. Yeah. So. Anyways. Basically, Chloe's more worried about her own needs than thinking about others. Like, they gave a refund. Now she's fighting Amazon because of the vacuum thing. Now the law enforcement's involved. Blah, 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 blah. Then we got, people around me getting angry about things that I can't control. I cannot control a person finding out their Meals on Wheels cut, right? But apparently, in some people's opinions, it doesn't matter. What matters is, well, it was cut. Who cares, right? Programs are going to be cut until it affects you. Then you're not going to like it. Literally, that's the truth, okay? And if you think, oh, well, this is just the tip of the iceberg, we got to deal with this temporary so we can get factories. Our factories ain't coming back. We are a customer service country now, a goods and service country. But if you can't turn around, you realize that and you think factories are coming back, I got a bridge to sell you because, frankly, I've seen what's going on in the world right now, and my mom taught me very well, okay? Now, there's a lot of problems out there, and a lot of them span around what you guys want and need. Yeah. Like financial aid thing, for example. That was granted recently. I went in there and they gave me a form filled out and it was approved. Why? Because I don't bring in enough money. I went into the Family Resource Center the other day talking about the price of eggs. Maybe it was one of them people talking about eggs, right? I got lots of eggs the other day. There were organic eggs yesterday, right? Anyways, apparently there's this new electric program state's doing and stuff, so they signed me up and, your electric bill's going to be covered 7-8 months. Okay, Chloe's happy. Oh, more money in my pocket. Well, yeah, of course it is. That's the thing. You see, when you sit there and you turn around, right, I want to talk about you, the audience, for a second. When you turn around, you find out that, the only thing Chloe contributes is the electric bill while she's here. All of a sudden she finds out it's covered for 6 to 8 months. That's 6 to 8 months, more money in her pocket for what? Hot dogs? Sausages? Think about it. People don't know what's coming down the pipe, people. And then she says, oh, well, right? Now, I'm not going to belittle Chloe. I'm not. But she needs to think about herself, right? She doesn't. She needs to think about why APS is coming. Let's see. She's holding my debit card. I got my card locked, by the way. But that's the tip of the iceberg. How can I pay the bills, huh? They finally told me, has Chloe been paying her portion of the radio? Nope. Chloe, finally, by the way, replacement antenna, $54. $54. It's like 53 and some change. Yeah. So, wow. So, radios, I just paid those, okay? I had to go through and do some things, and I got paid, right? Wasn't easy. I love these radios, right? Then they said, well, your charger, you didn't have the right charger, and yet you weren't using it. Well, I didn't want it. Yeah, she didn't want to use it, right? So, these are for secondary backups, right? Yeah, so, secondary backups, and yet she doesn't want to use them. I love these. I love these more than the cell phone. I mean, if I could cut out the cell phone, I would, but then how do I get in touch with my brother Higgins if I need something? See? So, jokingly, of course, I still got to send him a gift card. I've just been so dang busy with everything, you know. People don't realize that, you know, I got elderly, I got this, I got that. I got people pestering me about why the food stamps are cut, why food banks cut, why HUD's been cut, why USDA is going to be cut. I mean, literally. And I'm worried about things, and people don't realize, oh, well, you know, they all think everything revolves around them. And I'm not talking about, again, one person. I'm talking about the entire world. Everyone thinks it's about themselves. If that doesn't affect them or their family, and they have their own inner circle, and everything else everyone else can kiss their rosy red butt, right? Yeah. So think about it. And yet I'm fighting, and then Chloe says last night, because I told Chloe what was going on, right? And let me tell you, you want to say I'm self-centered? Okay, let's just say I am for a bit. Okay, let's just talk about that for a minute, because this revolves around me being an advocate for everyone around, okay? I'm self-centered. Okay. How's this for self-centered? All I want is to be left alone, okay? To play my video game, which Brother Higgins knows which one I want to play. Yeah. Instead, I'm dealing with the old lady upstairs who doesn't know why her Meals on Wheels have been cut because they say it's a dead program. I got another old lady worried about her cell phone service being cut because she's on $900 and some a month, has Medicaid. She's worried about her phone service and her Medicaid being cut. I'm not the person that needs to sit there and console everyone and say everything's going to be all right. I'm sitting there going, so I'm consulting the Bible and realizing we have to give this to God. Unfortunately, a lot of you people sit there and say, oh, there's no God, or oh, I'm religious but not that religion. Oh, my dad's into Lutheranism or whatever. Good for you. You know, whatever. I mean, I'm just saying. My point is I'm sitting here. It's not my job to handle everything under the market. My job is to wake up in the morning and not think about these things and then get up and go, oh, it's a sunny day, light wind, let's go on. Yeah. Instead, I get, 20 emails. What's going on? Well, sometimes you don't answer. It's because I'm not taking my phone with me because I don't want to be around to deal with issues when I'm dealing with the day before APS who's complaining about me, and then finding out Chloe is stolen from me and, doesn't want to pay back anything. She thinks she's an entitled princess, and they're saying, and then, I'm dealing with that headache. And then they're saying, oh, well, while we're at it, let's do a food inventory to see how much food you have so you can basically make it to the end of the month. Lamb, whole lamb, whole lamb, whole lamb, whole lamb. Stacks of sausages, freezers full. They're going, don't share any food with Chloe. I'm not going to, because I don't plan to share food with Chloe, because Chloe needs to learn that she's got to buy her own stuff. That's the thing. I'm not going to basically sit here and say, you take my food. No. The rule is, I got the chest freezer and I got the key, and the key is locked. I mean, literally, I could cook Chloe a turkey, but Chloe's like, I don't want turkey. I can cook her a ham. Again. And with me, why did someone give me eggs? Maybe they want me to have a breakfast burrito. Of course, all the breakfast tortillas dried up because Chloe didn't seal them. I found out it was too late. I bought the breakfast, the burritos to make the thing. I like breakfast burritos. Eggs and refried beans with some bacon. Oh, it's like when my friend said the other day, can't leave bacon around the place because it gets eaten. The APS lady found out about that. I said, yeah. You buy 8 pounds of bacon, person sits there, fries it up thinking it's theirs. You're like, I paid for it. Goes in the ledger. $18, 4 pounds. $18, 4 pounds. See where I'm going with this? Thing is you gotta look outside the box. Nothing revolves around me, alright? But since APS is coming in and saying, look, this is about you. Your debit card's missing. You got a lady who won't buy a vacuum cleaner. Mother's Day's around the corner. Chloe said something the other day. The APS lady says, okay, so you've been friends with her for 8 years. Have you ever gotten an anniversary present from her once? Nope. You see where I'm going with this? It's all about what Chloe gets now in survival mode. No, one of my brothers, who I love dearly, he's in survival mode too. I understand survival mode well, okay? When you're in survival mode, everything revolves around you. Plain and simple. With me, I'm basically giving it to God and being like, whatever happens, happens. I even tell myself, there's people out there that talk about politics every day. My house, I got boundaries set. My clear boundaries is this is a political free zone. Yeah. I may see a news article from time to time, but it's a political free zone. Yeah. And yet, when someone sends me something like a video on something they want me to see, I'll watch part of it, say, oh, this is utter crap, throw it in the trash can. I may basically give my opinion too. It may irritate someone. But apparently I'm a shit, okay? That's plain and simple. I gave a shitty attitude and answer when I wasn't trying to say, and let me tell you what happened, okay? So last night, I turned around, and I got burned out, alright? I got the old ladies, I got everyone around me, APS, my mind's cluttered, I need some time, so I leave, right? Leave the phone behind, leave everything. I get home, because Chloe's coming in late. She came in late. She's like, where have you been? I've been waiting here. Well, I was on the water, okay? So, I get in. I take care of my business. And I get an email from my adopted brother. And I said, what the hell, right? What the hell? I was upset. Why? Because I don't get to do much for myself. I gotta sit there and drop everything for everyone else. So I was in that cocky attitude of what the hell. I take a day off and I get lambasted about being self-centered because, is it self-centered when I got the old lady asking me every day and I'm on the phone trying to figure out why her Meals and Wheels is taken, or the lady's food stamps have been gutted by 3/4, or this other lady's got this problem or that problem, or, the Family Resource Center's trying to figure out what to do with these programs, or what happens if Medicaid gets cut, or Social Security, or whatnot. Negative. So, what happens? I'm self-centered. And people realize is, I'm trying to have like my wording was wrong at the time. You see, what the reason I did the video last night was to explain, to get in the kingdom of God, you cannot have outbursts of anger. That was outbursts of anger. What happened with my adopted brother was outbursts of anger when he's getting mad about, and he's not entitled to be mad because that doesn't get you into the kingdom of God. It says, hey, when I explained, hey, I didn't explain it that well. I was tired as hell because, you tried doing what you're doing on the water and you got a double-hulled vessel, right? But anyways, point is, you try doing what you're doing, right? Guess what? It doesn't work. Why? Because it doesn't work. Why? Because it doesn't work. And yet, you're trying to take a day off, but it doesn't work. You got to drop everything. And you're like, dude, I got APS on my ass. I got freaking CPS talking to me. I got the freaking manager dangling. You're going to be booted soon. You got Chloe going, I can't afford a vacuum. I need that money for hot dogs. Oh, by the way, I'm being kicked out on such and such a day. And you're sitting there. You need a day off. You've had the APS lady barbecue you about how's Chloe going to do her dishes. She can't use her dish soap. How's Chloe going to wipe her butt? She needs to buy toilet paper. How's Chloe going to wash her hair and her body? Oh, Chloe's stealing your shaving gel. Well, how is she going to replace it? She owes you. Oh, she's going to steal your razor blades next. Oh, how's that going to happen? You see, all that's stacked up on me. And I'm going, I need a day. You got the old people upstairs nagging about every nitpicking thing. Oh, you can't have it. Manager tells the lady, you want to be evicted? I'll evict you if you keep harassing Rita about the dog tinkling on the... Well, I walk around on the lawn. I don't give a shit. I'm going to evict you. And you're sitting there going, you tell it like it is, lady. Tell the manager, go ahead. Tell it like it is. My dog can piss anywhere he wants as long as it... Well, yeah, it's wrong. Leave the lock. People don't care. Oh, you tell that guy over there he's got a dog again. Nitpicking. You're freaking nitpicking. And yet, yeah, think about it. You're nitpicking. Yeah. So, all that stuff, and I tried to explain it nicely that, look, what I was trying to say last night is, and I got the message wrong, because people don't realize when you're explaining something, it's hard. It's the hardest thing in the world. That you got to say it right, otherwise you piss everyone off. And that is, once in a while you need a day off, or 2 days off, or whatever. I don't get much. I'm cleaning all the time. Pinched nerve. Oh, well, you know how hard it is to get out of bed and walk around slowly, and then you gotta get your coat on and everything just to get the dog out because of it, and then you have to walk upstairs, and your doctor's going, well, and then the manager says, we'll put you on a lease for an upper floor, but may take years. Meanwhile, the manager is saying, well, it may take years. And then the manager says, well, my parents are leaving as maintenance guys. Their office is to be vacant. Here's the keys. Store your electric car or scooter in the old office. Wow. So I got a little garage for my new power chair because the doctor's telling me I need one because my knees are going. And yet you guys sit there and say, and by the way, before you ask, okay, about, I'm trying to live life to the fullest before I'm wheelchair bound possibly or whatnot. I mean, if they do surgery on my neck, I could be paralyzed. But apparently that doesn't affect people because it affects only people that only think about what they need now in the immediate aftermath. I mean, this is the thing. People are asking me for help all the time about their needs, their food stamps, their welfare, and their Meals on Wheels. But they don't sit there and say, what does Rita need? Peace and quiet for once, clear mind to think. What do you think? I like to go out walk the dog in the mornings by myself because it clears my mind and helps me out in general. Yeah. And yet, when I said I'm trying to have a life, it means I'm trying to have a day off where I don't have to worry about anything. And yet, apparently, having a day off in life is self-centered because apparently I'm supposed to drop everything for everyone around me. So when I'm basically sitting here and get an email, when I'm basically fed up and furious because, what is it, 4, 5, 6, 7 emails came through back to back to back. I had to go through them, and it's like, so I'm not supposed to have a day off because, I got the old lady complaining about her Meals Wheels being cut. I can't figure out it, but the program's been cut because Elon Musk cut it. And then you got the freaking elderly care people calling me and saying the home and health care programs for hospice and elderly care is being cut. Oh, I guess for the people around that demand me to help them, they don't understand. And I'm not talking about I help everyone. I'm talking about the overall in the people in the world. I'm not talking about one person or 3 people or 4 people. I'm talking about people that ask me for help. I'm supposed to just drop everything and help them only. What about the elderly lady that lost her dad, or the daughter that lost her dad, or the son that lost their dad? Am I supposed to just sit there and say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I gotta help this crusty old bastard over here because he lost his phone service and he's an alcoholic and he wants free services? I mean, look, the drunk walked into the freaking place that helps the carpet clean. He said, I haven't had mine in 30 years and I got me on far. They're like, fuck you. You're a fucking boozer. I saw you come out of the store the other day with 6 cases of Natty Light. Well, fuck you. You try to help the poor. This is a crotch and I need it. Next thing you know, he's in jail for 4 days because he's behind the wheel driving while drunk. Guess what? You deserve it. And then people say to me, oh, that's just wrong. So I can't tell someone that they deserve to be hauled off to the gulag because they drive drunk. Yeah. You see? And I'm supposed to drop everything. And then, oh, you need to help me because, my lawyer. Hold on. Not talking about my adopted brother. I'm talking about the drunk who thinks I need to drop everything and find him a lawyer so he can sue his family so he can get his $4 million inheritance he pissed away. Not going to happen. Same guy who argues with me, oh, the price of eggs is only $1.29 for a dozen. Goes to the store the other day. What did I see him do? Oh my God, I went to the food bank. I said, where's the eggs? Oh, we don't have any eggs anymore. Well, why the fuck not? Eggs are too expensive. Goes to the store. What's he find? Eggs are so damn expensive. He's basically sitting there screaming. And I said, you sure you didn't see the thing where it says $1.29 and it's $12.99 a dozen? He's like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm gonna fucking beat your ass. That's what he says to me. Okay, whatever. I'm ready. Let's go. Oh, maybe you'll fall on your fat on your face as you drank too much. But think about it. You got people around that basically think that they're entitled. That's what it is. They are the entitled ones. Me, I'm not entitled. Oh, I'm supposed to just drop everything and help everyone around me. Well, old lady, I need steam cleaning. You gotta help me. Well, what she did, they found out she basically not only called CPS and APS on me and CPS on my neighbor. By the way, neighbor's that way, down below me, across the way, in my area. But she drinks too many fucking vodka cocktails and lemonades and hides it and then staggers around and then cries and cries. Everyone's on. Again, alcoholism. So, someone said to me there, oh my God, Chloe's visiting you and you're going to drink. No. I'll tell you why. Me and the Lord had a discussion about that. It's because got an alcoholic over there, alcoholic and most possibly drug user over there. All these people, lost souls, can't change them. They think everything revolves around them. I just want to help. Fortunately, I can't help if I'm burned out. So I took a day off. Yeah. Thing is, I wanted to have a day off. Everyone's entitled to a day off to make their life a little better. That's the point. You shouldn't just drop everything to help a person any given time. Literally. Yeah. And by the way, I need to get my glasses fixed again. Apparently I keep tightening these. And yet, the screw keeps moving. Go figure. So, anyways, there you have it, my friends. I love all of you. I took a day off, and, the thing is it wasn't about self-centered. It was about having a quiet me day where I had to have some health to myself. I'm giving myself to everyone and making myself thin. Thing is, I got Monday morning more phone calls again. The rest of the week, phone calls again. So if I apologize to anyone out there, to anyone watching this video, if you think I pissed you off, I'm sorry. It's not meant to be that way. It's meant to be, we all need a quiet moment of peace. That's why I said yesterday to sit down and do some reflection. Because frankly, it's not getting any easier. Of course, I have only breakfast sausage links and patties, but that's in the other freezer, which I'm not supposed to touch because, well, Chloe's not entitled to my food. So for breakfast this morning, I'm limited to nothing. There you have it. So, no. So I apologize to anyone if you think, I'm venting. I'm not. I'm just saying, that with everything going on in my life, you guys should realize that Friday was a real pain when I had multiple meetings with the manager and with APS over these issues. Not to mention CPS over things that the old lady is causing trouble for, and I hope the manager gives her the boot. Then it's one less person I have to deal with because, frankly, they deserve it. And she should boot the drunk who keeps driving drunk because he's a danger to himself and others. And I've already expressed that to myself and to them and to everyone else. Now, with that said, everyone, you understand how I feel, where I feel, and what I think. So, what does that tell you? It tells me that I needed a me day. Yeah, a me day, away from everything. That's why I try to avoid technology. Yeah. This morning I got up, and what am I thinking? Watching that documentary again. Why? Well, I don't want to play games with Chloe around. It's just, yeah. And by the way, sleeping on my floor, keeping me up. I'll probably need a nap a little later. At my age, that's my only quiet time is a nap. Think about it. Yeah, I had 2 naps yesterday. And that's when I got up early in the morning before I headed down to the water. Took 2 small naps. And by the way, before you ask, there's staterooms on the boat, so I can nap there too. So, but you don't nap while it's moving. That's a good thing, right? You can just anchor point and it takes snooze. Anchor point takes snooze. However, it was fun. And it was enjoyable. And, yeah. However, I think Moppy enjoyed himself too. But my thing is I'm sorry if I upset any of you at all. It's not that I am self-centered. It's just some people think they need me time and they don't understand. Let's just chalk it up to mental illness, or they don't understand the self-care that a person needs at times for helping mentally ill people and elderly people. A person needs to clear their head once in a while and say, okay, we'll do this. And that's how it works. In almost 90 minutes. 1 cup. I need to get my second cup so I can start today. So, with that said, everyone, I hope you're not upset. I hope you understand. That's my story for the week. All right. Hopefully we have a better week ahead. And maybe, just maybe, you guys will have a great Mother's Day. Treat your mothers great. Take good care of them. They gave birth to you. If you don't have a mother, celebrate Mother's Day with your mother in your memory. Thank you, everyone. And just remember, this video wasn't about you. It was about telling my side of what's going on and why I needed a day off. And, before I leave, the discussion was group home for Chloe, payee status for Chloe. They were thinking of me, but when I showed them how much I'm doing for everyone. They're like, oh, you don't need that. Yeah, think about it. I could always say my brother, my adopted brother, could use a Grupo. See, time to poke him. He's always saying, poke the bear, poke the bear. Well, poking the honey badger this morning. See, being funny here. I love all of you. Just remember, once in a while, a person needs a break, all right? I hope to be fully recharged by tomorrow so I can get through the week. Unfortunately, for all of you by now, including Sister Zoe, who knows this, and Brother Mark, and Brother the Higgins, you should all know Sister Pee-wee and Chloe can be a heavy burden and can drain the energy levels really hard with political crap and worries and not giving it to God and worrying about themselves and being narcissistic that she is and self-centered. That's what is a definition of self-centered narcissist. Me, I'm not self-centered, I'm not narcissistic, I help everyone, but once in a while you need to just take a step back and enjoy life for a day. So I don't mean to rub it the wrong way to any of you. It's not about living life to the fullest. It's like, look, you guys don't understand my situation. Everything revolves around everyone else. Oh, well, I'm disabled from 1 years old. Really good for you. You're disabled since 1 year old. Show that to the judge and, you know, not talking about the judge. Show that to the doctor, you know, and go from there. But no, I mean, people don't understand what happens if someone like me is in a wheelchair. Then what? You gonna watch a cripple in a wheelchair because their knees were completely out? Because of going up and down the stairs all the time? No, you're not gonna deal with a cripple. No, think about it. People sit there and they think everything revolves around, you know, and they don't understand. Yeah. I mean, I apologize, you know, I don't mean to make fun of anyone or upset anyone or shape or form. It's just we all need a day break and a break. And that's what I did. So, you know, with everything going on, I needed a break to clear my head. Because I don't know which way to go when it comes to certain issues like this APS thing. I mean, literally. Or the vacuum thing, or the steam cleaning, or, I mean, when you look at what's on my plate with, oh, gotta wait till September for a specialist for my neck and my shoulder. Wow. And then they say, oh, it may be next year before I see a specialist for my knees. Or next year to get in again for my yearly heart checkup because, well, the funding was cut by the Trump administration. And you say, oh, well, it doesn't affect me. Oh, yeah, really. Then what if you go in one day and you basically have a car accident and they say, I'm sorry, sir, you're in an emergency room. The specialist can't see you for the next 6 to 12 months or 18 months. 18 months later, you're in a wheelchair going, I could have just done sooner. And they're like, oh, well, the administration cut our funding, so we got you in when you got you in. That's what they're telling me right now. So I have to wait patiently. So all this stuff stacked up. People don't understand that I'm basically helping fight for others, but I'm also fighting for myself on a daily basis. And my doctor, he ain't doing his job. Oh, which reminds me, I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Crap. Well, there you have it, people. See, I just realized I usually check the planners in the morning, but this morning I did a video on this. So, with that said, everyone, please add and subscribe. Please post comments. Please leave feedback, suggestion. Hit the like, subscribe button. So it's fun for your family, including your dogs, your cats, and bunnies. The service dog, service bunnies. Hit the bell notification, thumbs up button, subscribe button. Keep the comments nice as all you want. And what should I have for breakfast? Maybe, just maybe, I may have steak and eggs. What do you think? It's Mother's Day. Or steak and eggs for lunch. Or maybe steaks and eggs for dinner. Prime rib and eggs? Oh, wait. We don't have prime rib and eggs. Steak and eggs? That might be good. With a little side of hash browns. See? I love talking about food. Take care, everyone. And God bless you in everything you do. And take care of your mama. This is Mother's Day. They deserve the best from you. Get out there, buy them a steak, grill it. Don't go cheap this time around because your mom's your only mom. And take care of them too. They deserve the best today. Pamper them because you only have one mom. Again, God bless you in everything you do.